Salman, everyone's marvelling over the performance of Alexander Usyk yesterday. It was a fantastic performance, an exceptional talent. Again, recapping on his performance. What do you make of Usyk? How good do you think he is? Do you think he's a special talent?
I definitely think he's a special talent. But I think what he needs to do now is just cement his legacy by going up to heavyweight and fighting the top.
Let's just talk about his performance yesterday. We'll talk about in a separate video about Joshua and Usyk and him against the big boys. But just talk about his performance yesterday.
I thought he was quite cool. He's quite collective in there. I think he saw the fight panning out the way he did before. I think he just took his time really. He probably knew that if I keep pressuring Tony Bellew, he'll eventually get tired, because he probably knew he had the chin to stand up to any Tony Bellew's firepower. So he just waited until Tony Bellew got tired and he just picked the right moment and knocked him out.
One thing you have to say about Usyk is the fact that, actually I've seen in with Usyk, which I don't really see in many fighters, that a lot of fighters, and I've even seen this in Joshua, when he gets put under pressure, sometimes he can panic. Don't get me wrong, Joshua has managed to do well in certain occasions, but even Wilder, I looked when Ortiz put him under pressure, he looked a bit sloppy. Again, when Klitschko put Joshua under pressure, looked a bit sloppy. Even Joshua against Dylan White. Don't get me wrong, Joshua's improving, and he's improving in that aspect. I've seen it, but Usyk against Tony Bellew, did you see how cool he was? Like, never ever you saw him getting ragged, or you saw him he just stayed so calm. Don't you think that's what was so impressive about him?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's under pressure, he looks cool.
But do you think that's because he knows he's so good that it's like putting a driver...
But you got to realise Tony Bellew was up on the scorecards. If he was that good, then he'd be schooling him completely.
No, but the thing is, that's what I'm trying to say, that he didn't panic, knowing that he was probably behind in the fight. And then he got the conclusion.
That's why everyone's giving him credit,
but remember, it's like saying Canelo was down against Khan on the scorecards.
Exactly.
Although the judges didn't, but he was down. But look how cool Canelo stayed. That's a sign of a world-class operator. Do you understand? Like a guy that even he knows that I'm not ahead, but like Joshua, for example, he might have panicked and he might start going gung-ho, and he could have you get clipped like that. Do you know what I mean? But he stayed calm. He was letting Tony Bellew win the battle, but he knew he was going to win the war.
Yeah, I agree with that, but maybe he knew what he was doing was going to tire Tony Bellew out. Sometimes fighters know, the way they're fighting, eventually he probably thought let Tony Bellew throw, because you got to realise at the start, first 4 rounds, Usyk didn't even throw anything. But he let Tony Bellew throw all his good shots, gotten tired, and then later down the stretch, Tony Bellew.
But what I'm trying to say, it's a 12-round fight. Although you're saying Tony Bellew was winning and he was up on the scorecards, that fight was only going to go in Usyk's direction. Even if Tony Bellew wouldn't have won any other round after that he had won after, because Usyk would have won
it. Maybe it was his game plan to take him down the stretch, let him win the early rounds.
McGregor won the first 3 rounds against Mayweather as well, but that doesn't mean...
Maybe it was a game plan. Maybe it was Usyk's game plan, let Tony Bellew.
But do you really think it was Usyk's game plan that Tony Bellew would tire? Do you think he was really expecting Bellew to tire?
To be honest, the way he fought the first 3 to 4 rounds, it did look that way, because he didn't really throw anything much. He didn't look anything where Tony Bellew was completely bamboozled by it. I think it was potentially a game plan, because you got to realise he tired down the stretch, and that's when Usyk got to work. The early rounds, Usyk didn't really win any of them, apart from when Tony Bellew started to fade, because Tony Bellew couldn't get to him, and when you can't get to someone, you start to tire. And obviously Usyk started to see that, and he obviously capitalised when in the moment, and he knocked him out. He picked his right time. He was cool. He knew what was coming. He had a game plan. He stuck to it, and he knocked him out.
So there you go, guys. There's a summary of our opinion about the fight yesterday. It was a very cool, collected performance by Alexander Usyk. Guys, we'll see you in the next part of this video.